Hello and welcome to this F5 Performance Management introductory class for the September 2020 exam session. My name is Luqman Rafiq and I'm the instructor for this paper's F5, which is Performance Management. Before we proceed, I'm actually going to introduce myself. I've been in teaching profession for more than 12 years now, and the areas and the subjects that I've been teaching, they have been the performance management, financial management, financial reporting and auditing for ACCA, for CIMA, and for ICAW qualifications. I have been acting as a full-time teacher for the last 8 years, and I have actually been engaged as an instructor by the ACCA Pakistan also on various occasions, and have conducted the webinar sessions for ACCA Pakistan also. So that's actually a bit of my background, and I'm actually going to keep on sharing more and more things about myself. So that was a bit about myself. I'm going to move a bit forward and would start discussing about the performance management. And before I start discussing about performance management, I would actually want to know the existing status of you people, that what exactly is your status. Like, have you people completed the ACCA foundation diploma level, or have you people completed the ACCA skills level paper, and this is the first, the knowledge level paper, and this is the first skills level paper that you are attempting? What exactly is your existing status? If I could have a quick introduction from you people, so that would make things quite easy. What you could do is that you are actually seeing the chat window, and what you could do is that you could actually send across the message, and everybody there on the chat window can actually see your message. Or alternatively, there is a question and answers section where what you could do is that you could write down your name, your country, and your existing qualification, and at the same time the papers passed in ACCA. That's something that you could share. If you could share this thing, then I would have a very good idea that where should I actually start off from. So I'm giving you 2-3 minutes time. If you could all just share your background so that I can have a better understanding. So what I've actually done is I have opened up the ACCA performance management, which is the previously paper F5 syllabus, and a study guide for the September 2020 and June 21. Remember that the ACCA syllabus for the June 20 examination was a bit different, and they have now issued a new syllabus for the September 2020 session. And it's very unfortunate that everyone has to now attempt the September session. People are unable to actually attempt this specific June session, unfortunately. So let's move a bit forward and let's try to discuss further. So if I move a bit further and if I try to discuss about this PM syllabus, so you could actually see this relational diagram, that this paper, which is also known as paper F2, this is a paper P5, and this is a paper SBL, which is actually there. So this is where the connection of the paper performance management is all about. So if I talk about this management accounting, so whenever we discuss about this management accounting syllabus, there are multiple aspects to the management accounting syllabus. And what exactly are those multiple aspects to the management accounting syllabus? They actually include the various costing technique. They include the various variance analysis. They include budgeting. They include performance management. These are the various 4 important sections of the paper PM. And when it comes to the PM, the examiner expects us to have this brought forward knowledge of this paper management accounting, where you have actually gone through the various techniques. Those techniques are actually taken as a base, and you have to actually apply those techniques and build up on those techniques and develop more and more knowledge. That's what you have to do when you are attempting this PM. Now, let's move a bit forward and discuss further. So basically, if I talk about this PM, this is what the relational diagram. So mainly it's just one paper, management accounting, which you have to actually prepare before attempting the PM paper. If I move a bit forward and if I start discussing about the various syllabus sections, so you could actually see here that there are actually 5 sections of the syllabus: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. A lot of you people have already attempted one of the exams of this fundamental level, but in case if you have not attempted the exam of the fundamental level, so let me actually discuss with you the examination pattern. Whenever you are going to attempt any of this papers, PM, which is F5 till F9, the examination structure of these papers is the same. And what exactly is the structure? So the first one of them is we have got a section A, where you've got 15 objective test questions, and each of the question is of 2 marks each. So you've got 15 objective test questions. That's what you are actually being examined when the section A comes in. With respect to the section B, the section B actually has got 3 case OTQs. Now, what exactly do you mean by case OTQs? So you come across with one of the case study. Along with the case study, what happens is the examiner gives you 5 OTQs based on those case studies. And each of the OTQ is actually of 10 marks. So resultingly what happens is if you've got 3 questions, each worth 10 marks, so resultingly it becomes 30 marks here. It was 15 into 2 makes it 30 marks here also. So you've got 30 marks in section A, you've got 30 marks in section B. If I move a bit forward, so then we've got section C. And with respect to the section C, you've got 2 questions. And each of the question is actually worth 20 marks. So resultingly 40 marks is what it is. So hence you have got the 100 mark paper, which is splitted like this. And when I talk about this section C, so the examiner says that there are 2 constructed response questions. There are 2 constructed response questions. Now, what exactly do you mean by constructed response question? So if I talk about the constructed response question, this constructed response question means that the examiner is actually going to give you a case, is going to give you a scenario, and from that specific scenario, what you actually have to okay, so what we have to do is that there are 2 constructed response questions where you get a case study, and from the case study what you have to do is that you are being actually given a few questions, and those questions include the areas where you have to answer your question in the Excel, or more better word is going to be spreadsheet. So it's actually more of a spreadsheet that is being provided, and there is also a word processing document that is provided. So you come across these spreadsheet and the word processing document, that's what you actually use, and you actually answer your questions in those specific word processing and these spreadsheet sheets. So I was mentioning that before I go on discussing the syllabus, I would first of all prefer to actually discuss the syllabus outline, that the examination pattern is actually like this. How? It's actually a 15 mark, 15 OTQ questions for section A, which is 30 marks. You have got 3 case study OTQ questions, 30 marks, and then you've got 40 marks here. Now, what is examined in section A, what is examined in section B, and what is examined in section C? So the good thing is that the examiner has been very, very clear that what is exactly going to be examined in section C. So if I talk about it, okay, I've got a raise of hand. Somebody has raised hand. Can you just please go ahead asking your question? What exactly is your question? You could just type it down in the question window also. And what you could also do is that you could actually go for the question window, or you could also do it in the chat window. Anyways, so let's move a bit forward and let's try to discuss further. So I was mentioning about this specific syllabus out, this specific examination pattern. And after the examination pattern, I'm going to discuss about these 5 syllabus areas. So for the 5 syllabus areas, what the examiner has actually done is, examiner has already mentioned that this area, which is decision making technique, this budgeting and control, and the third one, which is performance measurement and control. These are going to be the areas which will be examined in section C. So when it comes to section C, the section C, 2 of the questions that are going to be there in section C, they will come from these 3 sections. And what about section A and section B? Section A and section B would include the whole syllabus. Section A and section B would include the whole syllabus. So that's what the section A and the section B is going to include. Now let's move a bit forward and discuss a bit further. So if I discuss a bit further with respect to this, so I'm going to tell you that what is included in this section A, what is included in section B, and what is included in section C. So the section A, this is actually a new addition. In fact, syllabus section A, this is a new addition to the PM syllabus, because you can understand that this area includes managing information, sources of information, information system, and data analytics. I'm sure that a lot of you people would have an idea that in the recent times, the most important thing that one should actually know, and the most important techniques that the one should actually be aware of, are the data analysis, the data analytics techniques that are important. So with the growing time, what is actually happening is that the demand for data analytics is increasing. And when it comes to performance management, the performance management cannot operate without the data analytics. The performance management cannot operate without the data analytics. So the examiner, what they have done is ACCA, they've actually created a separate portion pertaining to information and the data. So they've created a separate portion pertaining to this information and data. This portion is going to be examined mainly as part of section A OTQ, or you can't expect to have a section B question from it. It's most probably going to be a section A question from it. Then when it comes to section B of the syllabus, the specialist cost and management accounting technique. So there are 5 areas in this specialist cost and management accounting technique. And if I could quickly recall, these 3 techniques are already there in the F2 syllabus, which is the MA. These 3 techniques are already there in the F2 syllabus, which is the MA. But they're actually not there in detail. They're actually examined here in detail with the numericals also tested. Then you have got decision-making techniques. There are few countries in the world like Pakistan or India or Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, where what ACCA has done is ACCA has made foundation diploma mandatory. So when it comes to foundation diploma, the students generally don't start directly with ACCA. The paper F2 and F3. The paper F2 and F3 are actually split into further 3 papers and 3 papers. So this relevant cost analysis, CVP, limiting factors, make or buy decision, they are examined in a very, surface knowledge is examined at one of the papers, which is called MA2. So that's actually examined at the FD level. But obviously for those who are coming directly from the ACCA background, this is going to be something very new to you people. This is going to be something very new to you people, because you people haven't actually gone through these techniques earlier. So the decision-making techniques are actually going to be examined. Decision-making techniques are actually going to be examined, and it's a very important area of the syllabus. And as I mentioned, that one constructed response question could come out of them. The next thing is about the budgeting and the control. So budgeting is done in F2, but then again, a surface knowledge of budgeting is performed at F2 level. Here what happens is budgeting, variance analysis, that's all included in the F2 syllabus. An in-depth examination is performed at this F5 or the PM level. So therefore, this is going to be an important area, and you could come across both types of question, the word processing question also, and the spreadsheet based question also. You could come across both types of question, which is going to be word processing and the spreadsheet question also. Lastly, there is another specific area, which is the performance measurement and control. And when we talk about this performance measurement and control, so what exactly? So performance management and measurement and control, again, it's something which you do study at F2. But again, it's one of those areas which is examined in quite detail. And this is the area which the students find to be most difficult at this F5 paper. So this is one of those areas which the students find to be most difficult area at this F5 level. Now, so this is general introduction of the syllabus F5 PM, that what exactly is included in the F5 syllabus. What I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to open up the ACCA website, and I will go through the examination pattern of the ACCA. I'm sure a lot of you people have already attempted some of the on-demand CBE, session-based CBE examinations, but there must be few people who have not attempted this paper earlier. So let me show you something on the ACCA website, that how is this paper going to be examined. Okay, I have opened up the ACCA website in front of you people, and obviously I'm going to go to the relevant area, and that relevant area is the student area, where I'm actually going to demonstrate to you people that how is this paper actually examined. So performance management is what we are talking about. What I will do is I will open up the CBE specimen exam, and I will actually load the CBE specimen exam. It's available on the ACCA website. I'm sure a lot of you people would have already seen this, but again, just for the sake of ensuring that everyone is at par, I'm just going through it, and stay tuned. You will also come to know that how is this course going to be delivered over a period of 4.5 months that we have, or 5 months that we have in hand before the September session. So this is the specimen exam. Make sure that when you open up this window, if you click on the next button directly without going through the entire screen, the screen is not going to proceed further. So we are being told that this is what it is. Now anyways, so the exam, section A, 15 OTQs, section B, 3 objective test cases, and section C, the 2 constructed response questions. So the exam is now started. This is a sample examination paper. If you could actually see, this is what exactly you are going to get in the examination. And if you could just see that there is this section A where it says the section A contains 15 objective test questions. Each question is worth 2 marks, and so on and so forth. Now, I'm going to discuss about this navigator button and this flag for review button also. So for example, when you come to this specific screen, you come across these things that you don't get to see this in the examination, the explained answer, but the calculator is there, and the scratch pad is also there. So the calculator is also there. If you want a standard calculator, you can go for a standard calculator. If you want a scientific calculator, you can have a scientific calculator. The scratch pad is there. The scratch pad actually means that in case if you wish to do any rough work, you can do it here. And you could see that this is actually a ticker which is showing you how many of the questions have you attempted, or which question are you actually attempting. So if I talk about it, the multiple things which you would come across while attempting the paper, the objective test questions. So the objective test questions would include a lot of things, which would be the MCQs, like this, simple MCQs. For example, I'm like that, I don't know this question's answer, so I would just flag it for review. So the flag for review would mean that when I move forward, and if I come back again, so I will have an idea that which was the question which I've actually left. Then there is this question where you are being given a blank, And remember, it says the answer to 2 decimal places. So for example, if the answer is 45, and if you write 45, your answer is going to go wrong, because the examiner has asked you to give the answer to 2 decimal places. So what you actually need to do is you need to write this decimal and then double zero, even if you've got the whole number as an answer. Anyways, I'm again flagging it for review. I'm moving forward with this question. Now this is a question where it says which 2 of the following statements. So you can check more than one. Then I'm moving forward, and there is one of the question where you have got a drop down menu. So I'm just clicking on this drop down menu. Then you come across a question where you have got a drag and drop situation, like a drag and drop. We used to do such sort of things in our kindergarten, or basically class 1 till 5. That's something that we used to do. And then you would have this decision tree which is being given. So for example, if this is the correct line, you could click, and then it's basically going to be a mark that this line is correct. You could have clicked here, you could have clicked here, you could have clicked here, but it's actually the relevant line where you have to click. So this is basically the different type of OTQs that you come across. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the navigator button so that I can show you that how the navigator works. So from the navigator, it shows me that this question is incomplete, this is incomplete, these are flagged question. If I have to switch on to my flag question, I could just click on question number 1, and here I am on question number 1. So I'm going to use the navigator again, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on question number 15. Here you have got another type of OTQ, which is true, false, you have to select. I'm now moving on to section B. So am I moving on to section B? So what will happen is that I would just click on this. And once I've actually clicked on this, so what I'm actually going to do is, this is a scenario that is given. This is the case study that is given. What you could do is that you wish to see the question in a bigger screen, you can do it. You want to see the question in the normal size of a screen, you can do it. So for example, this is one of the case, and then you will have 5 OTQs on the basis of this case. The case remains the same. The OTQ keeps on changing. The case remains the same. OTQ keeps on changing, and now what we have got is, this is the final OTQ for this question, and then you have got a new question again. So basically section B, with respect to section B, you have got 5 questions per OTQs, and you've got 3 case OTQs. I'm now going to move on to the section C. So before I move on to section C, I had to scroll the screen completely, because otherwise the examiner is not going to let me go on to that. So now I'm actually on to section C. And when I talk about this section C, so what is going to happen? This is basically a question. And what happens is, there are requirements to the question, and what you are being given in the examination is the spreadsheet. What you're being given in the examination is the spreadsheet. So what you could do is that you could actually work on this specific spreadsheet. You could work on this specific spreadsheet, and you could just write down your answers here. So that's what you have to do when you will be attempting this paper in the examination. There's also a word processing document that is being given, because when it comes to the constructed response question, so you can have a spreadsheet and you can have a word processing document. So I'm going to click next here. Now, this is basically the end of the paper. If I could click on this end examination, it is going to ask me whether you wish to end the examination or not. That's how it's done in the ACCA paper also. It's not something which is hypothetical that I'm discussing here. It's something that happens in the ACCA examinations also. So they're going to again ask you before you end the examination, and you're going to say, yes, let the exam enter. let the exam end, and so on and so. So this is what is actually going to happen. So anyways, what I've actually done is I've actually gone through one of the CBE specimen exams so that you can have an idea that how this specific paper is actually tested. I'm now going to move forward and I'm going to start discussing more about how this entire course is going to be delivered. So if I could explain to people that how this entire course is going to be delivered. So we have actually told you people earlier also that this course is going to be delivered in a hybrid manner. This course is actually going to be delivered in a hybrid manner. Now what exactly do we mean by this hybrid learning? So when we talk about this hybrid learning, this is a mixture of live and recorded session. This is a mixture of live and recorded session. Now, what is going to happen is we will have at least one class. I'm not saying one, I'm saying at least one class a week. We'll have at least one class a week. And you would have a live revision sessions. And plus you would have a tutor support over WhatsApp. You'll have a tutor support over WhatsApp. Furthermore, you would also be provided with the recorded lectures. So all of these, you will be provided access to the recorded lectures. Now, how exactly are you going to be provided the access to the recorded lectures, and what exactly would you be given in the recorded lectures? So let me explain to you this. So what you would be given in the recorded lectures is, first of all, the entire syllabus. I'm just going to demonstrate to you also that how would we be sharing this entire syllabus recorded with you. So it would be given the entire syllabus recorded lectures, plus whatever the live classes that we conduct. Those live classes would also be uploaded into your portals so that you can access them also. And this access is going to be available to you up till the 10th of September. Up till the 10th of September, and you can access these lectures 24/7 as many times as you wish to, on your mobile phones, on your laptops, on your tablets, wherever you wish to, you can always access them. Now, how are these lectures going to operate? So let me demonstrate to you people. We have got this website of ours, which is scriberacademy.com. You would go onto this specific website. Obviously, you people would be given the login ID and password, and you would click on the login button over here. Once you're going to click onto the login button over here, you would go to our portal where all the lectures are, recorded lectures are available. So what I'm actually doing is I'm opening up one of the IDs that we use for our internal purposes, and I'm going to demonstrate to you how the lectures would be available in your specific portals. So you would log on to this specific portal. Unfortunately, my network is a bit slow, so that's why it's taking a bit of a time. But anyways, it's open up now. So for example, you would click on My Courses. When you would click on My Courses, so all of the courses that you are actually enrolled in, all of those courses are going to appear. All of the courses in which you are enrolled in, those courses are going to appear on the screen. Now, so for example, these are a few of the papers that have been assigned to this specific student. So let me actually open up that, assume that this is the AFM paper that I'm just opening up. So what is actually going to happen is you would be provided with this specific access, and then these are the various chapters that are uploaded. You would click on the relevant chapter, and then you would click on the relevant video, and it will play. You would click on the chapter, the relevant chapter is going to open up. The number of videos that are there would appear to you people. You could just click on any of the videos. Let's say if I click on this dividend valuation model, so this lecture is going to open up, and it would actually start playing. It would actually start streaming in your windows. So this is what is actually going to happen. And what you could do is that you've got multiple options with these lectures. As I've entered the full screen mode, you could reduce the voice, you could increase the voice, you could actually slow down. You've got multiple settings. You could actually go for the quality enhancement also, you could go for quality reduction also, depending upon your internet connection being weak or strong. At times you might actually have to slow down the video because you are like that I want to understand this topic quite easily. So you might actually slow down, or you might actually wish to revise the lecture. So you might actually speed up the lecture. So these are the various options that are available to you people through this specific portal. And let me explain to you one more thing. That what would happen is that this portal would also have your testing window, where you would be able to submit your assignments to the tutor, and the tutor would be able to respond back to you through marking your answers and through marking your scripts. So that's the additional advantage that you're gonna get. So we have got our own Scriber Academy, on which this Scriber Academy's backend portal is working, where the learning management system gives you access to all the lectures, and also there is also a testing system that actually operates along with this. So anyways, so this is how the course is actually going to be delivered, and we would inshallah be concluding this entire course. We'll be concluding this entire course maximum by, let's say, it's going to be 10th of August. And after that, what we would have live revision sessions, and that would be around mid or end August. That would be around mid or end August. That's what we are going to have. So this is how this whole paper F5 PM syllabus and lecture delivery is going to work. If anyone has any questions, you are most welcome to ask, please.